There is this growing narrative, right? And I understand the intention behind it. Hi, I'm Nokss Talkss, and these are my messy voice notes where I speak about my thoughts, life experience, observation on society and pop culture. So, this lady has a podcast and she says women with kids must stop expecting the village to help her raise a child whilst not expecting the father of the child to raise that child. I think what childless women, child free, are now saying they don't want to see your kids, they don't want to be asked to babysit, they don't want to be asked for money. They're even saying that, for example, when I have a child, I shouldn't expect my own mother to assist me with my child. She goes on to say that people choose, you and your partner choose to have a child, therefore you and your partner alone must raise a child and you must pay for nannies and not ask them to babysit. So my question is, so does this mean now, for example, when I have a child, it means I must cut myself off from family members, right? From people I've been a family member to for all my life, people who maybe I was assisting or were assisting me before I had a child, right? So we are saying if I call or you call me because I chose to have a child, I must act like I don't have a child. I must not talk about my child. I must not say I'm struggling. I must not say it's hard today, or I must not say, oh, my daughter learned to walk today. I must not send you pictures. I must not talk to you because you now have developed this phobia of children, and I must not excuse me, video call you. I must not ask you to babysit for 2 hours because I chose to have the kid. Right? Okay, I hear it. I understand it. To me, this just speaks to what our society is becoming, right? When I have a child, you are expecting to raise the child within your existing family structure, especially as someone who was also a child, who was also looked after by my cousins, by my mom's colleagues or whoever, right? So this generation, because they have the option to not have kids, my question is, why is it now becoming a resentment towards women who do have kids? Because guess what? Women will still have kids and they will keep on having kids, whether you chose to be child free or not, right? So also, it means you must also remove yourself from someone who has children. For example, if your younger older sister has children, remove yourself from them. Tell them upfront, even when they're still pregnant, that I will not contribute towards your baby shower. I will not give you any money. I will not even ask you how you are because you chose to go and have kids. I think it's better that people start standing behind the things that they say on social media. Right? People must start standing behind how they feel. If you don't love kids or don't want to have kids, make sure that you remove yourself from people that don't have kids. You tell them that, even with the men that we do have kids with, some men do say, have an abortion, I don't want that child. And some women have abortions and some don't. Also, some men use protection, and they don't have kids. Some use protection and still have kids. Some women have contraceptive and the kids still come, right? So now another scenario is, now I'm affording my child and everything that has to do with my child. Because you have told me your disclaimer that you do not want to be a grandmother, you do not want to be an aunt, you do not want to see my kids, you don't want anything to do with children. So does that mean now, as soon as, even if I do afford my own child, does that now mean I'm not at liberty to talk to you about my child. I'm not at liberty to speak about motherhood to you because you have an issue, right? This even touches on, I've seen people also discriminate, because this is discrimination. People also discriminate people who don't have both parents. I once read a very sick comment where this girl said she doesn't make friends with other girls who don't have fathers because apparently girls without fathers have issues. You know that stigma, and it annoyed me so much. I'm someone who grew up with a father. It annoyed me so much because as people who grew up with fathers, we know that that experience alone can it's 50-50. It can either have been a healthy relationship or setup, or it couldn't have been. And also, if you're aware of patriarchy and the broader landscape of society and nucleus home, you know that a lot of women are raised through religion, through culture, to centralize having a man, centralize being married, centralize, oh, the father of my child. You know, that kind of, Shira likes to call it being a pygmy. Like, there's a lot of pygmishas, and it shocked me because I realized not every day a new pygmisha is being born, right? If she doesn't grow up and change and learn about life and how it is, right? And so these are the things that are being said on social media, and it really just confuses me because, okay, why would anyone consult with you when they have a child? I don't consult with you when I get hired. I don't consult with you when I go to the bank. I don't consult with you when I buy my groceries. Why? Because those things don't affect you, right? You also don't ask to see pictures of my groceries. You don't ask how am I, you don't ask how is my furniture, those things that naturally have nothing to do with you. But as human beings, it's a very disappointing to become a mother and realize that even women start hating mothers, on top of the men hating mothers. It's women now, it's these child-free women who hate mothers and they think mothers are stupid. Yes, someone hasn't caught on like you, or someone hasn't made the decision that you made. It's all about mindset and being exposed to certain things, right? So instead of you teaching other women and being essentially the community, what exactly is the community? What exactly is the village? And I understand that the better way is for every woman with a child to make friends with other women with children. I think that's the only way out. And should you be on the child-free, childless bandwagon and you find yourself now pregnant, as most of you do, and you find yourself now suddenly you are in love and you have kids, where are you going to run to? You're going to remember your friend who has a child that you thought you were so much better than. Because guess what? No woman is above the patriarchy. No woman is above the program. You think you are better than because you don't have a child. You're still a woman. You are still a woman. You and me, you and I could have the same employment opportunities. We might not have the same time. I could outsource child rearing, child care, and we will still be the same. If a man sees me walking in the street and you walking in the street, it would depend on what his preference is, because these child-free women like to think that they are superior to women with children. And that's just essentially what it is, because if they really cared about this whole village thing, their topic would be deadbeat fathers. It wouldn't be that fellow women are having kids. Because women don't understand that, yes, there's reproductive health. Yes, there's family planning. But guess what? Some women do want to have children. And on another layer to that is that women naturally, some of them want children, but unfortunately, no one is going to teach you the required infrastructure to have a child. Do you know what these women say? Oh, you should know better. And do you know why they know better? Because they grew up around kids, meaning they had an upper hand to know that they don't want kids. You don't know how somebody else grew up. There's women, even let's look at Rihanna having 3 kids. So now you are going to blame Rihanna, but because it's Rihanna, they won't say nasty things because Rihanna can hire nannies. So now must her child-free friends not want to see her kids? Must her child-free friends not be friends with her anymore? because God forbid she asked them to look after her kids. So I'm good enough to be a friend, but I'm not good enough to rely on you to help me with motherhood because you don't want to be a mother. Then declare it. Declare it from the start. Say it from the beginning. Say that now that I'm sorry, my friend, now that you have a child, we can no longer be friends. Don't come on the internet and act all superior and act bigger than everybody else. You are still a woman under patriarchy. That's a fact. Okay, sweetie. You're still you're still a woman. And don't even like our pictures. Don't even ask us how our children are. Because you don't care. We don't care. Nobody cares. Find child-free topics to talk about, right? Talk about going on holiday. You're always going on holiday, right? Yeah, talk about that. Talk about your facials that you do every day. Talk about what your child is free. Talk about your education. You know, these wonderful things that you guys do, the soft life that you supposedly have, but you come off so aggressive online and you're angry at women who have kids. Just say no. Somebody wants you to babysit their children, say no. And I can bet it's not all women who do this. It's not all women who do this. And if you know that you have a cousin or a sister who's having, I have one child who's having many kids, tell them, refuse, say no. Don't come on the internet and talk about women with kids. You know, even when we also have our rants online, because everyone has an issue, everyone has a story. Don't even comment with, oh, that's why I didn't have kids. You still have problems like everybody else. Do you know what I mean? Mine is declare it and refuse. If somebody's forcing you to look after their child, refuse. That's all. And then talk about your child freeness and how wonderful it is. You guys should be happy. You should be living wonderful, happy lives, no stress at all. That's all I have to say. Okay, bye.